And we do collision in DFlow plus particles. So I want to do this today. Have a look. We have one object and the other object, and when they collide, you see that we have kind of particles. And you can change these particles, as you can see here, like it can be smoke, you see, or you can change it to other things, let's say explosion, all right? Bang, explosion. So how can we do this? Let's start over. So I'll just basically remove all these things so that you can start over again on this one, so that we just keep the billboard, all right, for a start. And even this one and this one. So we have nothing. So first thing is bringing the objects. Let's say we can change them, but let's just keep them as is. And then second object, let's bring this sooner, and that's it. All right. So you can bring all these two. All right. These two objects, you want to move them, then you need a evaluator. All right. You just move one and then connect one to that, let's say X position, and then you can see what's happening. You see, you can change this, for instance, here and there. Alrighty, and then what else we need? We want to have a collision. So collision is here. So when you have a collision, you need to bring both these objects here on top of the collision. So then you double click and you see that the collision object is here, and then some information like primary, etc. Okay, and just keep this as like when play. So you begin collision. So you see nothing happens, but if we play that, again, nothing happens. The reason being is because we haven't mentioned here something. So this is it, the collision here, object one, object two, and then okay, nothing happens because basically collision happens, but you can't see anything because we need something to show us that that happens. So that's, for instance, a particle. You can have a text here to show it, but particles are designed for that purpose. For instance, we have bubbles, you won't see them here, but let's see here, you can see, you can say some fireplace. Okay, so we want to design it in a way that the particles appear when they heat. All right, so you use this one, let's say, as soon as this is the play. All right, as soon as this is happening, all right, you see this is happening and the particle effect. Does it make sense? You can change the particle to smoke. Can you see that? So that's the beauty of it. So basically we learn how to do the collision and then with the particle. Let's do it a bit more advanced. Let's say you have, for instance, just delete everything here. You have something like this. We had it before for distances, we used them, all right? But now we want to see if we have, for example, a particle, as you can see, the collision between all these things, all right? And when it happens, etc. And then two things that you remember we brought, the distance between them, as you can see here. I want to see if we move, for instance, one person here and hit, you remember we wanted to get or reach one of these things, like these two people are reaching the ball. So if you start, you'll see what I mean, and then start evaluator, and then the 2D. So I'm moving down. And then when I move it, you see, whenever it hits the ball, it says, oh, hit, dude, hit. And you can see, for instance, because it's 3D, you can't see very well where exactly it hits. But if you see which part of it hits, all right? So it's basically what we did, the same concept. The billboard here says, okay, the distance, which is on top part. There's another billboard I created here, hit, dude, and it has an event. So basically in the action, whenever that heat happens, this show happens. We'll talk about the event and global events. So that is another, a bit more comprehensive one. But imagine your quiz would be if you want to control it, not just by mouse here. Okay, imagine you want to have a controller, external controller. How can you do that? The controller, you can see, has got all sort of buttons here, and you can connect a third party to it. How can you do this? Or, for instance, imagine you want to have a mocap, and then you want to have some sort of like your HBM model or markers to use and connected markers from your subjects. How can you do that? This is your quiz for next time.